There comes a moment in every person's life when something inside you whispers, "I didn't expect this," not from them. Maybe it happened at work, where you relied on someone and they turned away when you needed them most. Maybe it happened in your personal life, when the person you believed would stand by you didn't. Or maybe it was someone you admired, someone you respected, someone you trusted, and they simply weren't who you thought they were. And when trust breaks, something inside your chest feels heavy. Not because you are weak, but because you loved with sincerity. Have you ever caught yourself thinking this way? Why do I keep giving people the benefit of the doubt? Why does this keep happening to me? Today we're going to talk about exactly that. When trust breaks, how to protect your heart and rise stronger. In a way that brings real emotional healing, inner peace, and clarity. Not by hardening yourself, but by understanding yourself. When trust breaks, the first wave that hits you is shock. You replay conversations, question moments, and wonder how someone you believed in could fall short. That confusion often turns inward, making you blame yourself for caring too much or being too open. But the truth is, your sincerity wasn't the mistake. You simply overestimated someone's emotional maturity or reliability. Instead of criticizing your heart, acknowledge that having good intentions doesn't mean others will match them. Shifting from self-blame to self-understanding softens the pain and helps you see the situation with clarity rather than guilt. After the shock fades, the overthinking begins. Your mind starts running loops. Was I too trusting? Did I ignore signs? This happens because the story you believed in suddenly broke, leaving your mind scrambling to rebuild meaning. Instead of drowning in those spirals, redirect the questions. Ask what the experience is teaching you about boundaries, expectations, and self-worth. This shift transforms overthinking into understanding. It reduces emotional noise and helps you see that the goal isn't to harden your heart, but to understand it better. When trust breaks, the hurt doesn't stay neatly in one corner of your life. You may find yourself distracted at work, losing focus in conversations, or feeling drained even in simple routines. Emotional pain has a way of leaking into places where it doesn't belong, because your mind is still carrying the weight of what happened. This is why grounding yourself in structure matters so much. Small acts like journaling, taking quiet moments, practicing deep breathing, or staying disciplined with daily habits help stabilize your emotions. These routines rebuild a sense of control when everything inside feels unsettled. Order creates safety, and safety creates space for healing. When your life has rhythm, your heart slowly regains balance. Another layer of the pain is the loneliness that follows. Even when surrounded by people, you may feel disconnected, as if no one fully understands what you're going through. This loneliness doesn't mean you have no support. It means the person you expected the most from wasn't who you thought they were. It's easy to respond by withdrawing from everyone, but isolation doesn't heal trust wounds, discernment does. Healthy connections still exist in friendships, mentors, family, and community. You don't need to shut the world out. You simply need to open up slowly, wisely, and with care for your own peace. When trust breaks, one of the deepest wounds is losing confidence in your own judgment. You start doubting your intuition, wondering if you misread everything from the start. Thoughts like, maybe I can't trust my instincts, or maybe something is wrong with me, begin to take root. But your intuition didn't fail you, your expectations did. You saw people through the lens of your own sincerity, assuming they carried the same honesty, loyalty, or maturity that you do. Rebuilding trust in yourself begins with observing actions rather than relying on promises or excuses. People show their truth through consistency, not words. Every experience like this sharpens your awareness. Instead of doubting yourself, recognize that you're becoming more discerning, more emotionally intelligent, and more capable of reading people with clarity, not fear. Another challenge is wanting closure from the person who hurt you. You may want them to explain why they did what they did or acknowledge the pain they caused. But relying on them for healing keeps you tied to the same source that broke your trust. Closure isn't something they give, It's something you create. It comes from understanding what the situation revealed about your boundaries, your values, and your emotional needs. Instead of chasing explanations, protect your peace by focusing on what you can control, your reactions, your standards, and the space you give people. Healing begins when you tell yourself that you don't need someone else to fix what they damaged. You have the ability and strength to rebuild from within. When trust breaks, anger and resentment often settle quietly inside you. It's that heavy pressure in your chest, part frustration, part sadness, part disbelief. You may catch yourself replaying the hurt or imagining what you should have said or done differently. This emotional weight is natural, but it becomes harmful when it starts shaping your attitude toward life. Holding on to resentment keeps you tied to the pain long after the moment has passed. It slows your growth and clouds your clarity. Releasing it doesn't mean approving what happened or letting someone back into your life. It simply means choosing peace over bitterness. Forgiveness in this context is an internal decision, a way of freeing your mind so you can move forward without carrying unnecessary emotional baggage. Letting go restores strength rather than taking it away. The final layer of pain appears when you fear trusting again. Whether in friendships, work relationships, or general interactions, hesitation becomes your default. You may begin guarding yourself too tightly, expecting disappointment, or reading every small sign as a threat. This fear isn't weakness. It's a protective response after being hurt. But wisdom after betrayal isn't about shutting down. It's about balanced caution. Your goal isn't to trust blindly or fearfully, but intentionally. Give trust gradually, observe consistently, and allow people to earn their place in your life through their behavior. When you do this, you build connections from a place of clarity, not vulnerability. This is how your heart becomes wiser without becoming cold, open without being exposed, and strong without losing its humanity. So remember this, even when trust breaks, it doesn't destroy you. It refines you. It reveals who you are and who they are not. It strengthens your emotional boundaries, deepens your wisdom, and teaches you how to protect your heart without losing your kindness. You are not defined by the people who failed you. You are defined by the strength with which you rise again. If this message spoke to you, share your thoughts below. How are you healing today? Your journey is not over. Your heart can rise, stronger, calmer, and more at peace than ever before.